Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton with me now. Why a 6-month timetable? That seems politically motivated to me. How about you?
Yeah, in light of the other prosecutions that are pending, I was going through the indictments. Now there are 4, 5 if you count the superseding indictment by Smith up here in D.C. That's an indictment every month, practically speaking, over the last 5 months. Yeah. And they've set it up in a way to have what looks to be, in this case, a kind of a circus of a trial, a show trial of 19 defendants at once. And her demonstrated willingness to do that suggests that she's not taking this any more seriously than many commentators are in terms of the legalities of what she's pursuing. But on the other hand, you don't want to be on the wrong end of a criminal indictment, and so all bets are off as to whether President Trump next year is going to be free to campaign without either A, being harassed by this pursuit by the Democratic Party in 3 different jurisdictions of him, or maybe they claim him and they are able to jail him in the middle of the campaign. I don't know what's going to happen. And I think responsible officials in the various states and Congress and such need to take action.
Well, will the public perceive this to be fair? Isn't that what this is all about? Is it fair to put a former president on trial 4 times in a space of, a year in the middle of a political campaign? How can voters see that as fair?
Well, many voters won't see it as fair, but those voters' views don't count if you're a Democrat in these jurisdictions that are virtually 95% Democrat, certainly here in Washington, D.C., and they're playing to a very different audience. This is power politics. Your vote doesn't count. Your views don't count if you're a critic of this regime politics here. They want to make President Trump a political prisoner, and what's really disturbing is expanding the abuses to innocent citizens down in Georgia who, by all accounts, by her own indictment, were doing nothing other than engaging in electoral politics.
Why try them collectively?
Well, that's a show trial. I mean, are we going to next put them in cages in the trial room for people to throw things at? I mean, this is not a serious prosecution. It's serious if you're on the wrong end of it, as I said. But the idea that a prosecutor in this day and age would think that in the middle of a presidential campaign, it's appropriate to try 19 people at once, three of which she's indicting for acts they committed as federal government officials, as president, as chief of staff, and as a senior official in the Justice Department. What a sham this is.
Yeah. Next one. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre insists the investigations prove Joe Biden did nothing wrong. This is about the Hunter business dealings. Just watch this, Tom. Roll it.
Have been making claims and allegations, right, about President on this front over and over again, and month after month, year after year, they have been investigating every single angle of this and looking at for any evidence to back their allegations. If you ask yourself what we have seen from that, they keep turning up documents and witnesses showing that the president wasn't involved, never discussed these business dealings, and did nothing wrong. There's been zero evidence showing otherwise, and so that's what we have seen over the past several months. That's what we have seen over the past several years, so I'll leave it at that.
Okay. What do you make of that, Tom? And do you think that... No, go ahead, please.
It's the taxpayer defense lawyer for Joe Biden at the White House podium there. It's an exercise in unreality to see her speak. The president's been caught lying repeatedly publicly about his role with Hunter Biden. There's plenty of evidence he benefited financially from this, both directly and indirectly. And of course, Stuart, you don't need to bribe someone directly to be involved in bribery with that person. If the vice president says, give the money to my son, and you get a favor, that's bribery too. And of course, there is evidence in the FBI that Joe Biden personally was bribed by Burisma, and he was extorting money from him. So when you have the Vice President of the United States send a letter to Hunter Biden's business partner saying, thanks for being in business with my son, that shows that what the White House spokesman is saying is a crock.
Okay, we are going to leave it right there, Tom Fitton, but please come back soon because this is an extraordinary situation.
welcome.
I think it's unique in legal and political terms. Come back soon, Tom Fitton. We'll see you soon.
Disturbing.
It is indeed.